The beginning of the end to the Titanic was on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is April 14th, 2023. It is the 104th day of the year. You got 261 days left in 2023. It is the 15th Friday in the 15th week and the 26th day of spring. 68 days left until summer. Still cold and rainy here in Portland, Oregon. How is it where you are? Today is National Dolphin Day. National Dolphin Day is celebrated on April 14th every year. On this day, we celebrate dolphins, one of the most intelligent and friendly mammals in the world. If you watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they're the third smartest animal. All right, let's see what else April 14th has given us. 1865, President Abraham Lincoln is shot by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Lincoln dies the following day, making this a tragic moment in American history. Now, in case you didn't watch last year, this was our deep dive. That's why we're not getting a deep dive on it this year. 1912, the Titanic hits an iceberg and sinks in the North Atlantic, resulting in deaths of over 1,500 passengers and crew. This was one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. It has become a well-known cultural symbol of arrogance and tragedy. The arrogance part comes in because the engineers said it was unsinkable. The sinking of the Titanic is one of the most infamous disasters in modern history. On April 14th, 1912, the luxury liner Titanic was on its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York, and it struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sank, as we all know. The Titanic was the largest and most luxurious ship of its time, equipped with state-of-the-art technology and amenities. However, the ship was not unsinkable, as many had believed. The crew was not prepared, and they were basically poorly trained in safety protocols that proved fatal. The Titanic had received multiple warnings of icebergs in the area, but the captain, Edward Smith, continued to maintain his high speed, likely in an attempt to set a new record for the fastest Atlantic crossing. As a result, the ship was unable to avoid the iceberg and collided with it, causing a massive gash in the hull and compromising the ship's watertight compartments. Despite efforts to evacuate the ship, including the deployment of lifeboats, many passengers and crew members were left stranded on the sinking ship or in the freezing water. There was a serious lifeboat shortage on this ship. They never thought it was going to go down, so they didn't have enough lifeboats for every single passenger and crew. This obviously contributed to the higher death toll. My buddy Tony from La Lita Loca, it's a cruise channel, he was just on an Atlantic crossing. Actually, it was a Holland America ship he was on, and which is owned by Cunard, and then Cunard, there's a bunch of flip-floppings and purchasing of cruise lines. Cunard is, a descendant of Red Star Line, which owned the Titanic. Anyway, on this cruise, they stopped over where the Titanic sits today. They did a little ceremony and moment of silence and all that. It was kind of unique, kind of classy. I'll leave a link for that in the description area below. Anyway, the sinking of the Titanic had a profound impact on maritime safety regulations, leading to the adoption of new safety measures, such as the requirement for ships to carry enough lifeboats for all passengers and crew members, and the establishment of an international ice patrol to monitor icebergs in the North Atlantic. The sinking of the Titanic remains a tragic reminder of the dangers of complacency and the importance of prioritizing safety in all aspects of life. The lessons learned from this disaster have helped improve maritime safety and prevent similar tragedies from occurring to now and into the future. 1931, the Spanish Republic is proclaimed after the fall of the monarchy. This was a significant moment in Spanish history and marked the beginning of a new era in political and social change. 1956, the Ampex Corporation demonstrates the first practical video tape recorder. This technology would go on to revolutionize the entertainment industry, allowing for the creation of high-quality recordings and the development of home video. God, home video was just a total craze, and everyone was into it that could be into it, that had enough money for it, but we had no place to put our videos up at. Now we have YouTube, but sometime around the late 70s, everyone was getting camcorders, and we had no place to show these videos unless it was to our family and friends. I've put up hundreds of videos, and I swear maybe 20% of my family has seen 5% of my stuff. 2003, the Genome project is completed, mapping the entire human genome for the first time. This was a major scientific achievement and has had a significant impact on fields such as medicine and genetics. 2014, Boko Haram militants kidnap over 270 schoolgirls in Nigeria, sparking global outrage and calls for action to address the threat of terrorism in the region. Many of the girls remain missing to this day. They were all forced to marry men in this militant group and all that. Some of them were sold into marriages, which I wouldn't say it's common or normal in that part of Africa, but it does happen. This was just on a massive scale. It was also our deep dive 2 years ago. 2019, a fire breaks out at the Notre Cathedral in Paris, France, causing extensive damage to the historic building. This was a tragic event that highlighted the importance of preserving cultural heritage sites and the need for improved fire safety measures. I remember that happened. It was horrible. Movies released on April 14th, 2009, 17 again. Yeah, it's not worth watching. I mean, it was cute, but I wouldn't waste my time on it. The story is something we've seen in Hollywood many times before. A middle-aged man gets a second chance of being a teenager. The film grossed about $136 million at the box office globally and was the second feature film directed by Burr Steers. Actor Zac Efron, who plays Mike O'Donnell in the movie, had appendicitis during the last part of shooting. When I say we've seen this type of movie before, we have. I mean, all the way back to Freaky Friday when the mom and the daughter switch bodies or something weird like that. Some magical thing happens. In 2004, Jennifer Garner made a movie called 13 Going on 30 where a girl makes a wish on her 13th birthday and wakes up the next day and she's a 30-year-old woman. That one was a little weird because keep in mind she's a 13-year-old girl in her head, but in the movie Jennifer Garner's getting, ooh, look at him, he's cute, and it's like a 13-year-old boy. Her friends are like, what's the matter with you? But yeah, don't go out of your way to see this movie. There were 2 really good movies released on this date, but we talked about them last year and the year before. Thank You for Smoking in 2006, which is a great movie, and American Psycho, which was out in 2000. Both really good movies. Born on April 14th, 1996, Abigail Breslin. She's Little Miss Sunshine child actress who played roles in My Sister's Keeper, Zombieland, No Reservations, and Nim's Island. In 2015, she was cast in the Fox horror comedy series Scream Queens. So if you've never seen Little Miss Sunshine, it is a great movie. I would advise that movie to everyone, especially when you see it's just this family-like drama thing, but you don't understand there is a huge payoff at the end. This movie is like this weird drama, and that's all you think it is. You think it's a good movie, acting, and then the end comes. I won't spoil it for you. Watch the movie and enjoy it. I liked her in Zombieland too. I'm not a big horror movie fan, ghosts and all that. For some reason, I dig zombie stuff. I think it's because you could actually kill zombies, You can't kill a ghost. I mean, not like any of them are real or anything like that. Not like we're out trying to fight ghosts on a regular basis or anything like that. Died on April 14th, 2007, we lost Don Ho. My grandmother loved him. My wife's grandmother loved him. He was just big with the grandma crowd. Sure, they weren't grandmas back then, but you know what I mean. He is best known for his theme song, Tiny Bubbles. He was a Hawaiian-based entertainer whose music helped bring his island's culture to mainstream America. He played football at Springfield College on a scholarship. He appeared in I Dream of Jeannie, The Brady Bunch, Sanford & Son, Batman, Charlie's Angels, McCloud, and had his own weekday TV show on ABC TV. That was from 1976 to 1977. Didn't last long. Don Ho was married twice and had 10 children with 3 different women. His second marriage was in September of 2006. He married a production assistant for his show at the Waikiki Beachcomber. A few days later, he went into cardiac arrest, although he had had a new pacemaker installed on September 16, 2006. He collapsed and died in his Waikiki apartment from heart failure on April 14, 2007. He was cremated and his ashes were scattered at sea. Since his death, his estate's been kind of in limbo because numerous management conflicts and legal changes that transpired while he was struggling with his mental and physical health. Always make sure you have a will. Always make sure it's done long before you start the decline. We had to deal with all kinds of stuff when my mother-in-law died, and I have a cousin who's a court reporter, and she does family law or worked in a family law court and said she's never seen one go well that didn't have a will. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.